Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number, what is it?
302.
302, yes. We had a long, several hours of discussion before this podcast even began about various random things and very things. Yes. Episode number 302. Pink, do you have feelings about the number 302?
I feel like it means something particular to me, but the feelings I'm feeling about it just aren't coming to fruition right now. So like maybe it's important, but maybe it's not, and I just think it's important. Like,
I feel that
103 is probably the most important number to me. 302.
Real big fan of January the 3rd?
Pardon me?
Real big fan of January the 3rd?
Oh yeah. But more importantly, in the Foreigner song, oh god, why is this leaving my brain right now?
That's a bit of a long title for a song, but that is what I would expect out of Foreigner.
Foreigner's great. Hot Blooded, there you go. I don't know why that. I guess I'm tired, maybe. I don't know. But Hot Blooded, one of the lyrics was that he has a fever of 103. So whenever I see 103, it's like, yep, that's a Foreigner number right there. That's my man.
There is an entire episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force centered around the goofy Atari aliens that come down, and their magic super secret weapon is the Foreigner belt, which is a belt with the buckle being the F from the Foreigner logo, and it has special powers activated by naming the songs of Foreigner. They go up to Carl and they freeze him by saying "cold as ice," and it shoots an ice beam out of the buckle and freezes Carl.
I love it.
All right, Eddie, how do you feel about 302?
It's a number. It is three less.
That answer is weak.
It is three less than the required. We keep talking over each other.
Goddamn, you and I fuck. We are in one of those speaking over each other. You know how some days there's the opposite. Like, it's one thing to just both bowl over each other knowingly and both be talking all at the same time. You and I are both trying to create gaps for each other, and then we wait after that gap and we're like, okay, well, he's not going to take the gap, I will. And we both try to retake it at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, 203 is three numbers before, yeah, 3 digits less, I guess, or whatever, 3 numbers less than the required weight to compete as a high flyer or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The cruiserweight.
Yeah.
What great significance this is.
Remember
the numbers make.
Wait, it wasn't even 305, it was 205.
Yeah, wait, Addy, you and I are both dumb.
What's
I like the cruiserweight division cutoff being 302 pounds, though.
Otis, notorious cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Once you hit 303, it's like you're just a little bit too tubby for the cruiserweight division. I'm sorry. Sorry to say. I hate to break the news.
Look, Top Dollar tried his best to be a cruiserweight. Who are we to deny him his dreams?
Yeah.
All right then. So, Pink, do you have anything coming out on your channel this week?
I might. So I'm definitely going to have a part 1 of, I was about to say Gladius. I'm going to have a part 1 of Endless Legend with you coming out sometime this week. And then, awkwardly enough, I won't be having a part 2, 3, or 4 because I have neglected to actually hit the proper record button when we're recording. So I've got part 1, and then I've got like part 4, but there's no 2 or 3.
Nice.
Oh,
The Supreme Commander way of uploading videos. Which, by the way, I think Supreme Commander is missing part 5, and I believe I have a part 5 on my hard drive, but I refuse to upload it anymore. but I also don't. I also never delete it because I'm like, well, maybe in like 5 years when we're like, hey, we found this.
this mysterious video on the hard drive. Who knows it? Who's heard of it? It was just here today, never seen before. It's a mystery to everyone.
We don't know what this is.
Or similarly,
And neither do you.
I guess it's not quite the same thing, but I don't know if y'all noticed, but Katamari, I fucked the schedule up very bad, and part 18 and part 19 are live. Part 17, I believe, is coming out this week.
Oh,
So
Yeah, I was probably gonna.
I didn't notice the numbers were off. I saw that Katamari still came out. I was like, hey, that was a good time. I just didn't realize they were out of order.
yeah, I only noticed it. I want to say like 2 or 3 days ago. That I was like, hey, wait a second.
This shit don't add up.
Yeah. So it's like the next video that's coming out is part 17, and then we go to part 20.
Yeah. And then we go backwards.
Yeah. They released
We're
part
doing
1.
things the way that Tarantino. If Tarantino did Let's Plays.
No. No, we'll do it that way once we had feed cam.
Oh,
What, Cam?
It's a thing we won't be doing.
And aside from Endless Legend, I haven't recorded anything else thus far. I want to. I probably won't have time to because this Tuesday I'm off. But aside from that Tuesday, I'm gonna be working like 8 days straight or something crazy like that. It's not gonna be pleasant. Probably not gonna have a lot of time to record other stuff, but I'll try. I definitely want to get my 2K23 stuff back in order. I've been wanting to start up Mario Sunshine for the past however long it's been, like a month now. That I've got my Switch set up to be actually able to be recorded, so that's great. And that might happen sooner rather than later. I also want to do a Super Mario World, which might start. I think Super Mario World should be easy enough to get started and up and running. So that stuff isn't guaranteed to be coming out this week, but it might. Endless Legend, though, that's definitely coming out at some point. Yeah. So yeah, that's everything on my part.
All right. And Addy, what do you have planned for your channel this week?
I probably have something coming out on the second channel on Friday. I don't know if that's even true, but like I schedule that shit like once every 4 months to go 4 months in advance. So who knows?
Yeah.
Review development has kind of stalled. I am still working on the 3 reviews that I've been working on. 2 of them now need to be edited. One is still in the gathering footage part, but that is because I technically shortly have whatchamacallit, exams coming up in uni, and I need to like shoot 5 separate movies, and that stinks.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
And like the worst part is, the movie that I need to be working on real hard right now, it requires tech that I don't have, namely a dolly. And this wasn't something that the university wants. It's something that I want, and I will. They have told me, hey, maybe don't try to be so ambitious, and I will not listen. Instead, I will build a dolly.
You should probably consider listening.
Instead, I will build a dolly. Because fuck it, I have a tripod. I can just turn it into a dolly with enough wood.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish you luck, but that's ooh.
Because like I guess I'll do a quick rundown of what the actual like the problem scene is with this. So, the scene is scene. I had to make a movie that is 2 minutes long, and it's about myself. I have to it's an introductory movie, and yeah, the movie or whatever the scene that I'm talking about is one where I walk down a hallway, and then there's these stills that are not pictures. They are, they're like statues, more or less, of things happening. Where I walked, it's basically literally walking down memory lane.
Yeah.
But to do that, the camera needs to move consistently, so that you can cut the takes together. So that you can just do the take where you walk down the lane, and then you do the take where you look the other way to show the thing. And I want it to be one shot that pans out to the statues instead of cutting to the statues. And that is the problem. Because doing it in one shot requires exact movements. As in, like, it needs to be fairly fucking close for you to cut it together, the multiple takes, for it to not look weird. And yeah, that is the problem. That is the reason I need a dolly, because if I just went, alright, I'm just gonna cut to the statue, and then I'll cut back to the walking, and then I'll go to the other statue, that would be a lot more feasible, but at the same time, it's also a lot less impressive. And if I know, if I know that I can somehow feasibly do it, even if it requires me to make a fucking dolly from scratch, then I'm gonna try to do it.
Yeah.
Now that is one of the issues. The other one is that I don't have a a place where I can shoot it so that the camera actually has space, because I don't know how much y'all know about like lens and the difference they make. I've only learned about that shit recently myself, because I haven't looked into camera stuff a lot, because I just figured I wouldn't be able to afford shit, and turns out I'm right. But either which way, yeah. So the lens to take a shot like this, an enclosed space, would need to be a one with a large viewing angle, is the best way I can describe it in English, while knowing the stuff in Hungarian. Now, instead, the lens that my camera has is called build, which means that it compresses the picture, but it also means that it shows things bigger than they are. Or well, that depends a lot, but like with the little amount of space that I have in the walkway or the hallway that I figured we'd shoot it in, there's not enough space to actually do the shots that I want, because you would need to be walking in the actual walls, and yeah. So I'm gonna have to go look for a new place to shoot thing in, and then I'm gonna have to make a dolly, which at least it's an investment, because if I have a dolly, I can use it for multiple things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those things. I needed y'all to take those recordings for this thing as well, because you are the whatchamacallit. There's a term for this in Hungarian. It's what the hell was it?
Your shit?
No.
No, I was ready to turn into the Great Mighty Pooh.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to. Whatever. Basically, you are the reason that the entire story begins, and we just tail end the movie with y'all, because it's easier that way for me. There's a it's the classic movie thing of like, all right, so we begin with the status quo. We also return to the status quo. Not quite, things have changed,
Yeah.
but we return to the status quo, more or less.
Yes.
So yeah, that's basically the premise behind all that. They figured I would do shots that are nigh impossible with the stuff I have, but I'm gonna make it work because fucking hell, I've made so many things work with nothing. I might as well try.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to do green screen stuff, y'all.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But even with that, at least I try to set my sights to be realistic because I'm gonna do CG or anything like that. The green screen just needs to be there so that I can float in the void, which is a lot more it's a lot more feasible than trying to CG stuff.
Yeah.
What else is there of note there? Not much really, but yeah. Oh yeah. We've seen a lot of these introductory videos, so I just figured, fuck it. I'm I am the fuck art guy, so who cares about you trying to
A
be
position
serious?
I'm sure will endear you to your classmates.
Yeah, I mean you think so, but my classmates have expressed similar thoughts about the stuff that we've seen so far. So like not the proper movies, but none of us have really liked the introductory videos that we've seen that they have showed as examples.
Ah.
So yeah, basically the whole premise of my thing is that it's a parody. It's a parody of the usual introductory videos, and then for the second half it just cuts over into whatever the hell I actually want it to be. And like the first half,
Yeah.
so like yeah, the first half is trying to be like very self-important and like philosophical and shit, which is what most people tend to do. Which is why
Yeah.
I had y'all be the catalyst for the existential crisis, because like maybe it's just me. No matter it's a 2 minute thing, I want it to have an actual narrative structure. I'm not fine with it just going, all right, here's plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that he just got it. I break the fourth wall because that's a very me thing to do. I feel, and that's
Okay.
yeah, and that's the catalyst for it to go into a different direction. So that I can do the thing that is actually required of me in the class in or with this video, while also trying to do my own thing. I'm also like despite me being me, I'm also gonna be doing a lot of acting. Despite my great acting of like I have one face and it's dead.
Acting is a lot of fun.
Yeah, acting can be
It's an
fun.
excuse as an adult to still play.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the stuff I'm working on, I guess. I don't think the introductory video will be posted online for the viewers to see, but y'all might get to see it if it turns out alright. Like there's an amount of cringiness to it that is on purpose. But if it ends up too cringy, then I will not share it. Because like I don't know if I sent y'all the actual like the dialogue fully, or if I just sent you your lines. But like I think the conclusion that I come to for who I am is just chaos, because I was like, okay, what's the dumbest thing that I can say that still fits the editing style that I'm gonna be going for? And I want it to be like it's the thing of like I want it to feel loud, the editing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like fuck it, chaos fits, I guess. And it's also cringy, but whatever. So am I. Jack Garland is actively on his way to kill me right now.
My God.
So anyway, W, your channel.
Mine? Oh, yes. Well, over the next week, expect more Conan. Boy, we recorded a lot of that. alongside Conan, I am playing as the Border Princes, a modded campaign in Total War Warhammer. So expect to see that. Beyond that, I will go ahead and say now, though it will not be happening this week nor the next. But beyond that, I'm not sure when the hell it's happening. Somewhere in the next 2 months, we are moving. There has been some shit that has changed. I might talk about it on recording at some point, but I will not talk about it on recording while it is still ongoing. But some shit has gone on. We are moving. I am on the run from the law. So at some point, there will probably be a period on the channel where there is just Conan coming out. There may be a substantial 2-week period where I am without internet. Possibly. We shall see. In that case, just in case, the Endless Legend video that Pink has released, or Pink is releasing this week, I have got stocked up for once Conan comes to an end, just in case, smash, break glass in case of whatever.
Yeah.
Endless Legend is sitting in there. So anybody really wanting to see my perspective of things, wait till then. Wait until sometime in December, really. So for now, content will carry on as usual. I will try to, over this week, probably bank up a bunch of content. But at the same time, there is a distinct possibility that at some point in the relatively near future, there will be a drought. And we do not know what the internet situation will look like wherever we go. We do not know what the financial situation will look like wherever we go. But maybe things don't change very much. Maybe things change for the better. Maybe things change for the worse. Who knows? That's life. So yeah, there you go. There's that. And should I go ahead? I've got the group channel stuff pulled up. Should I look over that?
Yeah.
All right. So on the 16th, Monday, it will be Katamari Damacy Reroll Part 17. Also on the 16th, Danganronpa Part 5. On the 19th, on Thursday, a short. On the 20th, Friday, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper by Fightcade. We should go back and play that again. On the 21st, Saturday, it will be another double video special. It'll be Resident Evil 7 Part 1 and Katamari Damacy Part 20. And then on October 22nd, Sunday, it'll be another 2 video special on that day. It'll be Resident Evil 7 Part 2 and a highlight compilation, the best of Dead Space 2. Now that's ancient fucking history right there.
Yeah.
It's a big week. Lots of videos coming out this week. Y'all better prepare your buttholes. That is how everybody else takes their videos in on YouTube, right?
Yes.
I assume as much.
It's how you get the best high.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows it. Nobody denies it. Nobody expected.
Everybody loves the content anymore.
That if this was the Super Best Friends, that would be the title of the podcast.
I mean, if this was like half a year before, or like half a year earlier than now, then it would be the title of this podcast still.
I feel like we would have drawn the line there just because YouTube search analytics would hate the word enema.
Oh yeah, true. Although I don't know. Let me see. I made a picture. I made a picture for one of our videos search terms because it was fucking weird. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, so for the short, Street Fighter 6 Lowline summarized. The YouTube search terms were Dragon Ball Super Broly, which no, and ingrown toenail removal.
I'm sorry, what?
Ingrown toenail removal.
Oh, I see. I, huh, huh, um,
Okay then.
well, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's a good name for a punk
Oh,
band.
is it?
I mean, it sounds like a punk band at least.
Oh no, you and I are listening to different music.
Yeah. I mean, look. One of the people. I don't know if it's a band or whatever, but Spotify keeps suggesting to me Pop Tropica Sluts.
Oh no! Why?
I don't know. It's also with a Z. It's also one word.
Oh, good lord!
Like I have no clue what the fuck a Pop Tropica is, but sure.
Pop Tropica is a children's browser game. When I was in elementary school and we were in the computer lab, that is what we would play to pass the time when the teacher wasn't looking.
I see.
You can understand why my reaction to that is, what the fuck?
Yeah. So anyway, how's your sex life?
Yeah,
I guess I don't know.
anyway. Okay, yeah. The topic for today is Jesus Christ. That's gonna bother me for the rest of the day.
The topic for today is Jesus Christ. All right. So, people say that he was a Lord and Savior, but I don't know. Where do I take this bit?
You don't.
We've already taken it too far.
The answer is you don't. Okay. The topic for today we agreed upon is, what was the most difficult storyline decision choice in a video game, at least in your opinion? You know, where you decide whether a character lives or dies, a nation falls or survives, a region falls or survives, yada, 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 all that big, ambitious crap. What is the most difficult choice to you?
That's a good question. I don't really remember a lot of the choices I had to make that I had to really think about. The one that immediately strikes me, probably because it's the most recent one technically, is Mass Effect 3, the stuff with the gas.
Yeah, if you don't have the high enough Paragon or Renegade, or if you don't have high enough, if you haven't gone and done the right things, yeah, the Quarian Geth decision is. I mean, there's also like the entire ending of that game is part of why people have such a negative. One of many reasons why people have such a negative reaction to the way Mass Effect 3 ends is because the way things go down for the Geth. You know,
Yeah.
and specifically for all the work that you put in, if you did create peace between the Quarians and the Geth. And the worst one is, of course, if you're one of the poor unfortunates who had to pick the Geth, could not save the Quarians, and then in the end you're presented with those three endings. And again, it's like, well, really, out of this color rainbow here, the red ending's the green ending is technically the super duper happy everyone wins ending, except that it's kind of really not.
It's the everyone moves to 1984 land, if memory serves.
The green ending is saying that the dude from Mass Effect 1, the villain of Mass Effect 1, I'm forgetting, the Turian cyborg dude. Saren?
Yeah.
The green ending is saying Saren was right. Like, the red ending is most of the time going to be the reasonable one in Mass Effect, even though they clearly want you to go for the other ones. But the red ending is the one, if you did save the guest, you get fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
You wasted your time. Yeah, Mass Effect 3, oh boy.
Oh, I guess another one that I felt was kind of hard was the end of Red Dead 2.
Yeah, that one I think is hard partly because they don't entirely explain it.
Yeah.
Because if you actually pick the go for the money choice, it becomes clear, no, someone labeled this retroactively. The go for the money choice feels a lot more like it's go back for Micah.
Yeah.
Which then is a much more difficult choice. That is a very genuinely difficult choice. Because Arthur does not go back like, I gotta get the money. Which, by the way, spoilers for Red Dead and for Mass Effect here, which, fuck it, Mass Effect 3 is by now already 10 years old, but nonetheless, Red Dead, yeah, Arthur doesn't say, I gotta go back for the money. He goes back shouting into the woods, Dutch, Micah, I'm right here. Which is a very different feel from go back for the money.
Yeah.
And it happens immediately after you pick go back for the money. Yeah, that one, arguably on some level, that's revenge or make sure that your friend makes it out safe. Though even then, one could pretty cleanly argue it's not so much revenge with Micah, that Micah is always going to be a problem.
Yeah. Alright, Joken, sir. Picking between your current girlfriend and Carmen Electra in Def Jam Fight for New York.
I think in Def Jam Vendetta, you get all of them.
In Fight for New York, you have to choose a girlfriend who will never interact with you aside from being in cutscenes sometimes as an arm piece. And if you get a choice between 3 women to try and hit up. That gets you in a fight. If you lose the fight, you get saddled with a woman who isn't conventionally attractive, I guess. And then then later you have to choose between your current girlfriend and Carmen Electra, in which they fight. And if you lose the fight, I don't remember what happens, but something happens, I think.
I think you die.
Yeah.
You die. What was? I feel like there's got to be some other big choices from Mass Effect, though, in particular. You know.
I mean, I guess, although, like, for me, the big one was the gas, because I did all of that time trying to make peace in the universe, and then the writers decided, no, the gas just fucking die.
Yeah. Who is going nuts with music outside? Matt, I'm trying to think. There must have been a difficult choice in Mass Effect 1, but the only major choice I can think of in Mass Effect 1 is Vermeer. But Vermeer is really the choice between choosing a piece of white bread that has headaches and a piece of white bread that is slightly racist.
Yeah. I mean, that one, like, I've seen people bring it up as, like, a hard choice. For me, it was just like, alright, Ashley dies, cool. And then I went on with the game.
Caden's definitely the better person, but I get rid of him because I find I get rid of him because I find him dreadfully boring, whereas I only find Ashley mostly boring.
See, Caden, the game gave me a choice too. I think gave me a choice of sending Caden down to a different colony to be a captain on of his own ship, and I just went, "Hey, Caden, bye," and I never spoke to him again.
Yeah,
Saved me a lot of trouble.
Shepard there is forced to make that choice. Do I go back to save the one? Do I go back to save the one with the bomb, or do I go to save the one who's under fire? There should be a third choice. Just bring down the plane now. Take me. We'll leave both of them.
Yeah.
Well, the real trouble with that choice is that choice also discreetly can determine whether or not Kirahi survives, and Kirahi's way cooler than either of those two.
Yeah. Like I just want someone to mod in a third option. It just says, "I don't want to engage with this content," and it skips, and they just both die.
The third option: go to the one that you sent with Kirahi and just grab Kirahi.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know.
Ash, thank you for saving me, Commander. Where are you going? Where are you going? You're just dragging Kirahi away by his arm.
Yeah. I just
Really nice to join you on the ship. You shut the door in her face.
I don't know how the game determines what like narrative triggers you've hit and how it takes care of that stuff. But like I imagine someone modding it so here he survives but neither of the other two. You get whatever cutscene, but Kirhi is flagged as alive while the other two are dead.
Yeah. Like they just put in some line of another Sumerian saying, "I'm out of here." All right. Yeah, Mass Effect. Okay. I don't want to dwell on Mass Effect 2, but I know there's got to be a gold mine in here. Okay, Morden, the genophage research. Some people find that one really difficult.
Yeah.
Some people find that one really difficult. Do you?
No.
Yeah, you keep the knowledge. You keep the data. The data should have never been gathered in the first place. It was gathered immorally. But now that it's there, it does represent tremendous progress towards undoing one of the worst things ever done in the Mass Effect universe.
Yeah.
Pink, how far did you even get far enough in Mass Effect 1 to run into any major choices, Pink?
Think so. I was rattling my brain because I was like, there are so many choices that you have to make in Mass Effect, but I don't think I came across any like super groundbreaking. This changes everything type of choices. It's all standard run of the mill stuff.
Did you get the choice to punch the journalist?
Punch the journal? I might have, but I didn't. I definitely met a few journalists though, so I don't know if I got that specific prompt.
I liked how in my playthrough of Mass Effect, I never punched the journalist except in 3 where it's supposed to be whatchamacallit, like it's supposed to be like a clapback. So through all of those years, Shepard just gave normal interviews. Then suddenly snaps and tries to assault the journalist. Journalist ducks, punches Shepard instead. It was great.
I've never thought about that. Yeah, if you don't attack the journalist in the first 2 games, the third journalist encounter is treated as if is treated as if you did assault her in previous games. So she's ready for the swing. Oh, that's great. I never thought of that. That's amazing. The Mass Effect 1 had 3 buildings you visit. I forget, did each of the 3 have a major choice associated? Well, I guess one of them was just pick up Liara. There wasn't a choice there, but the Rachni Queen. There we go, the Rachni Queen. I was trying to remember there was one good choice out of Mass Effect 1. It was the Rachni Queen. That one is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because that's one, it's easier than the Krogan choice. Because the Krogan are frog people, but you can still pretty clearly look at them and say, yeah, these are broadly similar to us. It's not too unusual to it feels more immoral to say these people deserve to have horrible things done to them. The Rachni are bug people, though, so it can sometimes be a bit more understandable, a bit more tempting to say, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk the threat, right?
Yeah. And then there are the Baraka people. They don't matter.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, that's the great thing about Mass Effect, because Mass Effect 1 goes to a lot of work with both the Krogan and the Rachni to take the archetypal quote unquote orc and goblin type species, the ones that are usually assumed to just be savages that hate people and don't have inherent value, and trying to give them value and pose the question of like, but what if they did have intelligence and feelings and the capability to develop a serious society? And then Mass Effect 2, after all that work, it's like, hey, here's the Vorcha.
Yeah, and it starts. I really like the Vorcha. They're funny. I wish I wish that their entire species thing wasn't that they're fucking dumb.
The Vorcha are the Vorcha. Yeah, I think that they're definitely, if they ever do a Mass Effect. No, wait, they are doing a Mass Effect 4. What am I saying? It's been confirmed. But Mass Effect 4, there's no way they do this, but they should absolutely have a Vorcha party member. They should absolutely have both a Vorcha and Batarian party member, because those are the two races that stick out in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 of being treated differently from everybody else.
Yeah.
Like a Batarian, could be one or two relatively reasonable Batarians, but by and large, they're just the evil enslaving foreigners. And the Vorchas are just orcs.
I want them to do like the dumbest Vorcha character. Like you get Vorcha Doctor or Vorcha Scientist.
I mean, that's got to happen, right?
No. I mean as the squad member.
That would be fun. It's a pity Mass Effect 3 did not come with the multiplayer included, because you could actually play as Vorcha in the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. And they didn't have shields.
Nice. Checks out.
They had insane HP regen instead, so you just took shots straight to the face, and then you Wolverined it, because the Vorcha don't give a shit.
I mean that is true to lore, yes.
I believe the Vorcha were the only ones that could pack flamethrowers as well, because they're the only ones crazy enough to still be using flamethrowers in, 2230 or whenever Mass Effect is.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awesome. Mass Effect 4 needs to bring that back. Playable Vorcha, and not only playable Vorcha, playable Volus. They have dodge rolls, but because they're Volus, like they're already in perfect rolling shape. They need to go one step beyond all of that. I think they even had a playable collector, but they need to go one step beyond that in Mass Effect 4. Have all of those playable Elcor.
Yeah.
Brimming with battle fury, I am going to kill you.
Yeah. I'd love an Elcor party member just for that. Like
he wouldn't be able to work with so many systems, but
imagine the combat grunts.
Experiencing much pain. Ow. Indignant, vengeful rage. They killed Kenny. Those bastards.
And they knew that they had gold, because in Mass Effect 3 there's I'm forgetting his name, the guy's like special mission, the guy the guy who wants to throw him around the airlock. That's the way I remember him.
Airlockman.
Yeah. The great Hideo Kojima classic character Airlockman. But yeah,
Javik.
Yeah, Javik.
Javik the Prothean.
Yeah, Javik's loyalty mission has you go and star in a movie with him. That's about Shepard, and the staff is made up of Alcor and Vorcha. Even the actors.
Oh God!
Even the actors. It's
Oh no! It's a continuation of that gag from Mass Effect 2. In Mass Effect 2, you can see you can find advertisements for all Elcor Hamlet.
great. But yeah, so if memory serves, Shepard is originally played by a Vorcha. There's a second Vorcha that's on I forget whose role it's taking, but still, it is some actor, and then the third actor is an Alcor. And the director is one of those flying guys, if memory serves. I forget their name. The pink guys.
Flying guys. I don't remember anybody that flies.
The guys that revere Javik.
Oh, the Hanar. They don't have Blasto cameo in it, do they?
They might.
I don't recall. You don't ever run into Blasto. There's no way.
I forget it. It might be a thing that they name drop Blasto as having taken the role originally and then refusing it, which is why the Vorcha is now playing as Shepard or something like that. But it's been a while. They should have made a DLC that is just like a retelling of Mass Effect 1, but it's all Alcor.
I mean, if Mass Effect 4 has Shepard come back, right? If
Mass Effect 4 has a menu option that's previously on Mass Effect, and it's all Alcor doing a play.
Yes. Previously on Mass Effect, seductive. Well, bang, okay.
Ah, blimey.
Shameful. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel. It's an all Elcor rendition of Mass Effect, narrated by a Vorcha.
Yeah. Sure. Ah, blimey. So anyway, Pink, have you made any big choices in games? Or what's the biggest choice yet? Words.
A few big choices in gaming that I can remember. Like first and foremost, series very near and dear to my near and dear to my heart. Fire Emblem.
Good lord!
I'm sorry, I'm tired. I've been up a while.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think you want the Fire Emblem to be near and dear to your fart.
Right. That would not be good. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon specifically. In that one, it's a remake of the OG Fire Emblem. So not my favorite, but it's pretty good. And in the first couple of missions, which serves as the prologue / tutorial, how they teach you about permadeath in those games is that you've got 3 cavalry units, and you need to choose to leave somebody behind to die, so the rest of your units can make it out alive. And you've got the option of killing a character called Jagan, who is the best unit in the game. You've got the option of killing Kane, who is a cavalier, who's pretty good in his own right. Or you can kill Abel, who's another cavalier. They're all cavaliers except for Jagan, who's a paladin, which is just a horsey boy that's been promoted. But the big issue here is that Cain and Abel are very similar stat wise. They just have a little bit of different stat growths throughout the course of the game. So I want to say Abel might be a more defensive unit, and Cain grows into a more heavy hitter, more like a glass cannon type. And it was really hard to choose between those two because I love the way that Cain looks, and I liked his stats, and I like the fact that he's got more opportunity for growth. But Abel at the start of the game is just a straight up better unit, but he doesn't look as cool, and I don't feel as proud of him doing the cool things that he does because he's not Cain, who's starting at a bit of a handicap. Or I could just straight up kill Jagan, the best unit in the game. He can wield silver lances from the start. He'll one hit KO all the boss fights for you for the first 15 chapters, which is absurd. He'll eat all the XP so now your units can grow properly. It's pretty great. So go ahead.
I would expect that killing Jagan is also the unwise choice because then you're leaving Cain and Abel together, and somehow that doesn't seem like a winning combination.
Usually not. Historically, biblically speaking, it's not a great combination to have. So it's like the game is telling you straight up, hey, you should probably kill one of these two. In fact, the game might be telling you to kill Abel, which is kind of messed up. But yeah. So you really don't want to kill Jagan, because best unit in the game. Why would you do that? Why would you handicap yourself? But then you really don't want to kill Abel because his stats are just better than Cain's. But and I think he's got quote unquote better growths. But at the same time, I just like Cain a lot better as a character, and from an aesthetic standpoint. He's got the fiery red hair, just like Cain from the WWF. And what does Abel have? He has greenish hair. He's a greenish blonde. It looks weird because the pixel art is just not great in that game. But still. So it's I want to kill Abel. But at the same time, he's a much just straight up better unit in the start of the game than Cain is. So it's if they gave me this option of killing one of the three, on chapter 17 or 18, at that point, I've had enough time to level them up and see, who's really the benefit to the team here. But they make you kill off one of these guys in, chapter 3. It happens pretty quick. Chapter 3 or 4. Maybe even earlier than that. So it's you barely spent any time with these units. You know Jagan's the best. But you're not really sold on Cain or Abel. But you don't really want to kill either of them. But you have to. It's messed up, yo.
I see.
Yeah. That was a very, very hard decision for me to make. It has stuck with me. And I might have killed Jagan just out of spite.
He's lived a full life.
He has.
Look at that XP. That's not the amount of XP that belongs to someone who's young and inexperienced.
This is true. Jagan is actually quite an elderly character. He's 67 in this game, which it's just anime ages, so it doesn't really matter. But still, he's lived a full life. He can die with honor.
Jagan is
It's
67.
Yeah.
Jagan is 67 in dog years.
Yes, and as a result, he must be cold.
But yeah, that's probably one of the hardest decisions I can immediately recall. Outside of choosing your starter in Pokemon.
All right. Now, if I were to make a pick for most difficult choice, Well, I was kind of talking with both of you a little bit before the recording about it, but on one hand, I could very easily say Fallout New Vegas, NCR over Mr. House. The Legion is obviously supervillain shit, you know.
Yeah.
Kaisar can talk about Hegelian dialectics as much as he please. That doesn't change the fact that he's running an army of slavers and rapists. And Yes Man, I don't know. The Yes Man ending more or less boils down to the Mojave falling into chaos, doesn't it?
Basically.
Okay, I've wondered about that before. I thought I'd heard about that. To me, Yes Man never seemed like a valid choice because Yes Man just struck me as the ending of I'm better than all this, right?
Yeah, I don't want to pick. I don't have to pick.
Yeah, which, by all means. I mean, the point of the Yes Man's inclusion in the game was we need an option for someone who just wants to do a genocide run.
Right.
In which case, the endings afterwards narrated by Ron Perlman should just say, and then the courier and Yes Man sat in an empty Lucky 38, looking over a Mojave that had been completely wiped out of all life. And the courier looked upon it and said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
There's a certain degree of chaotic evil courier you can play in that game where it starts to be you get the lonesome road. And Ulysses is like, nuke the NCR of the Legion, you have to do it, Baron the Bull, Baron the Bull. And your response is, no, nuke me.
Nuke me.
I am the marked man. To me, yeah, the NCR house choice can be a rough one. I mean, in real life, I don't know. Because the NCR is clearly going through a decline. They're getting more corrupt by the day. They're getting...
In real life, the NCR and House would team up, and you just get fucked.
Well, that is part of House's thing, is that House says, I want the NCR to stay out of Mojave. I do not want war with the NCR because I make loads of money off the NCR. I just want to keep the Mojave independent, but I don't want it to belong to the NCR because they're an increasingly decrepit state that is just going to ruin the Mojave alongside California if they try to bring us in. Which I forget, do they ever say whether or not the NCR absorbed any other states besides trying to push in on Nevada?
No, I don't believe they do.
It feels weird to me to say that they don't. I feel like they must have tried to push in on Oregon or something, right?
As far as I'm aware, they only pushed in on Colorado, and no, I don't think they go north. They just go east.
I've noticed that, yeah, Fallout has a weird thing of trying to avoid going north, just partly because they don't want to handle it feels like they want to hold Canada off until they want to go in on Fallout 5 or Fallout 6, fully going into just how badly America fucked Canada up pre-war. Right?
Right.
Both you guys have seen the intro animation of Fallout 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think so.
So, the Canada thing, they've never really gone in on, even though it is known at the very least, America conquered Canada and fucked them up bad. They were performing mass executions of civilians. Whereas down close to the Mexican border, there's so much land there that's already fairly sparsely populated, let alone without a nuclear wasteland. It's a ways away from Mexico City. We can be close to the Mexico border without ever discussing what Mexico is like in the Fallout world, right?
Right.
That's part of Fallout's thing is they leave massive stretches of the United States undiscussed, let alone discussing what's going on in other countries. China is huge for Fallout lore, but we don't know what China looks like in the present day in Fallout lore. We don't know if they're roughly similar to the United States, a few societies trying to eke something out, or if they just got entirely vaporized off the map by a massive salvo of American nukes.
Yeah.
But what was I going to? Right. Yeah, with House and NCR, like, both are inherently going to have the thing of, capitalism. They're both definitely going to have capitalism. But at the end of the day, New Vegas is not a game about economic. At the end of the day, all of the choices ahead of you will still have the free market in terms of that. It's occurred to me that before, because the Legion also huge autocracy, but they repeatedly make a point about saying that Kaisar is the best at protecting businesses from raiders and thugs and criminals and gangs. And it's part of why a lot of businesses are tempted to switch over to the Legion, because they know that Kaisar will cover them. So Kaisar evidently is running some kind of capitalist dictatorship. And at the end of the day, House is clearly planning on a capitalist dictatorship, though one that is not nearly as firm-handed, one that's pretty well just hands-off. NCR is running a capitalist democracy, and seemingly the yes man ending is more or less anarchy.
Yeah.
So economics don't so much figure into it. No matter what, there's going to be capitalism in businesses, and businesses screwing over the little guy. The question is, can Mr. House keep his hand out of it, or is he going to officially throw his support in favor of people? Because a big part of the problem with NCR is that increasingly the Brahmin barons are coming to be more and more powerful and throwing their weight around. Now, I was talking to Addie earlier. I never actually. Have you ever actually talked to Chief Hanlon in New Vegas, Pink?
Chief, I don't recall the name immediately, so I don't know.
The NCR dude that was the leader at Hoover Dam and whooped the Legion, but never got the promotion because Oliver was friends with the president. So instead, he sits and gets old and drunk in that one. It's not too far from the camp with the screw up squad of NCR troopers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one that you can get to kill himself.
Yeah.
The one voiced by Chris Christopherson, also. Addie, have you ever talked to Chief Hanlon in that game?
Probably.
Because in my New Vegas playthroughs, I spend very little time in the East. Usually, if I dick around in New Vegas, I'm going and messing around in Quarry Junction and Black Mountain because I'm insane. And because I love Raoul. I love Raoul. He's a great guy. But I very rarely go that far east. And even if I ever do, it's usually just a massacre of the fort. So I've never actually talked to Chief Hanlon in game. But when I was looking over a few YouTube videos, I saw a little clip of Chief Hanlon explaining, oh, the NCR actually has has a rather large army of power armored heavy infantry that would rinse the Legion if they got brought to the dam, but they're not on the dam because the president has them deployed protecting the routes of his favorite Brahmin barons.
Yep.
So that's the direction the NCR are going in, but they're democratic. House is mostly hands off, to the point that the Omertas constantly bitch about him being hands off when they'd like him to be more authoritarian. But he's the immortal dictator, which on one hand means he's not necessarily so vulnerable to the temptation of corruption as mortal men, but at the same time, if he is going to be a shit, well, we're going to have a hard time getting rid of him. I don't know. That I don't know. It's the prospect of facing. It reminds me kind of like the Dark Souls choice, right? In a way, NCR is, keep the fire going. House is snuff the fire out, go into the dark. NCR represents doing the same thing that you already know how it worked. You know that it worked for a time, but you know that it's decaying and probably not going to get better. It's probably just going to get worse. Versus House, who is kind of the unknown. Could be better, could be worse. It's a mystery. You don't know how bad it's going to get. It could possibly be much worse than the NCR, but it could be better. Whereas the NCR, you know, there is no better. It stays the same as it is, or it gets mildly worse. You know? Do you take the gamble? Plus, I think a lot of people are going to end up just picking sides in New Vegas based on how much they personally like the leader, because people are dumb when it comes to politics. And at the end of the day, you can meet Mr. House and you can meet Kaisar. The only way you can meet the president of the NCR is when he's on the other end of a gun barrel.
Yeah. Like I don't know. For my sense about House is the thing of like, he could make things better. He could make things worse. But I lean towards him making things worse just because of the way that he conducts himself in the game.
He's got swagger. What are you talking about?
Like he doesn't give a lot to make you put his faith in him, in my opinion.
Yeah, part of the issue, I do think that it is a tangible thing. When you see what House is ruling over right now, I think this is what Arcade says about House is, yeah, the strip is nice, and his policy is going to be, I'm going to let you live how you want to live. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to tell you how to live. I'm not going to tell you what philosophy or morality you should follow. Yeah, that's all well and nice, but look right outside of the strip. Free Side and West Side are right out there. Free Side is in, for the most part, abject poverty. The Kings are the only thing keeping it afloat. The Kings and the Followers of the Apocalypse are the only thing keeping Free Side afloat. And West Side is just a mess. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I've ever been to the West Side in New Vegas. I just strolled straight through Free Side into the Strip.
Most people do.
So, like, that is a valid thing with Mr. House, is that on some level, Mr. House is just the non-government. He'll offer guaranteed protection from, the Legion and from the NCR, so they won't get in your business. But that Mr. House's entire philosophy is more or less going to boil down to, look, if you're a major corporation, I'm going to ask you to kick up some taxes every now and then. But other than that, I'm going to be sitting in my tower trying to figure out how to get into fucking space. If you have problems, you deal with them yourself. Which, there's an argument there to be had as well, though. Free Side's a big problem, but the Kings are there to keep Free Side self-sufficient, and the followers as well. And when you run into Good Springs or Prim, they both specifically make a point of saying, okay, we know the NCR is relatively good, but we don't want them to come here just simply because we don't want anybody to tell us what to do. We want to still be an independent, self-sufficient community. And of course, they don't want the Legion for that as well. So Good Springs and Prim are perhaps more likely to support Mr. House or Yes Man, just simply because those are the two that would give them the most independence.
Yeah.
I mean, on some level, it's hard not to see Mr. House as some kind of weird libertarian capitalist dictatorship fantasy of the immortal dictator who nonetheless only provides military protection and nothing else, which is definitely some kind of libertarian fantasy. It's hard to, I was trying to think of, like, the other day, what kind of games give that kind of broad view of societies where virtually all of them are a mixed bag and it's these great political games between these societies. And in many ways, I guess the comparison I was immediately thinking of was BioShock, which, of course, you look at New Vegas, that's dripping with BioShock. Mr. House is explicitly supposed to be just a smarter version of Andrew Ryan, if we're all being real. And also immortal.
Yeah, we still have to go back and finish the BioShock playthrough, so we can argue about Ayn Rand.
Yeah, well, and that one's an iffy one. Well, I don't think anyone here is Ayn Randian, but that's also a weird one. BioShock handles politics. I think BioShock definitely has a very valid critique of more libertarian philosophies, regardless. But that's a weird one because so much of that story also figures in stuff like plasmids, which kind of throw off the idea of handling it as serious political theoretics. I don't know. Fallout runs into the same thing, right? Because, all that politics in New Vegas, but then Lonesome Road makes it clear In spite of all of this, there's the tremendous existential threat of the tunnelers that none of the three big factions are even aware of, let alone getting prepared for.
Yeah, despite all your rage, you're still just a rat in a cage.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you know what's the hardest choice in New Vegas? It's not NCR or House. Lily. Keep
oh
her
yeah.
memories or
Yeah.
have a clear past or a clear present. That's a rough one. I don't think any of the other companions have such a difficult choice attached to them, do they?
Which brain for Rex though?
Oh God, I hate that one. Actually, I hate that choice.
It's always
It's so
violent because
stupid.
that's the easiest, accessible one.
Yeah, it's always going to be the most. Well, I don't want to go have the grandma at the junkyard dog put down. I don't want to do that. So it's never going to be that brain. And I'm never going to. I never played Legion, so I'm never going to invade the fort just to get a brain for Rex. So it's always going to be, well, I guess I'm going to go kill Violet and her dogs again. And while I'm there, I might as well kill Cook.
Violetta is so easily accessible. My first playthrough, I already had the brain on me by the time I was doing Rex's story.
You're talking to the king, and the king's like, oh, well, I think Rex needs a new dog brain. And the courier fishes around in his pockets and goes, like this one?
Hold up a second, I got you, homie.
And again, you're walking into Jacob's town, talking to Marcus, who's the friendliest, most charismatic person in the entire fucking wasteland, let alone the most friendliest and most charismatic super mutant. And you're like, hey, I'm here to perform a brain transplant on a dog. I've got a brain in a bag here. I keep sarsaparillas. Marcus is just standing there like, maybe the master was right. That's with you. Yep. Oh man, and the thing that frustrates me about the brain choice is not only is it just expressly a gameplay choice of what perk do you want on Rex, but if you give Rex a different brain, it's not Rex anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
The brain is where the personality is. The brain, you are a brain driving a meat mech. When you swap the brains, you now have Violet's dog.
Yeah.
By all means, it should just jump up and maul you immediately.
This reminds me of the whatchamacallit, the thing people talk about with teleportation, where, like, you know, if teleportation is destroying your cells and then making them appear somewhere else and reconstructing them, is the person who steps out the teleporter still you?
It depends entirely on whether or not it recalls your memory.
I disagree. Your conscience would fade. Like you're like, I would say it isn't just because, like, your active conscience isn't the same. It's a different instance of a similar conscience.
Well, I mean, if the thoughts that you're having in your brain right then at that moment disappear, I think there's some degree of that. But to me, a person is the personality formed from a combination of their brain chemistry and their memories. And as long as you've still got both, you're still you. And that's part of the thing of Barbara Streisand had her favorite dog clone. She paid a lot of money to do it. You can pay to do it, but it's a ludicrous amount of money. The trouble is that while the dog is biologically identical, she has said that she entirely regrets doing it because he does not behave anything at all like the dog she paid to have cloned. Because the dog had a different life. It's a nature over nurture thing, I suppose, or nurture over nature in this case, which I am nurture over nature, so whatever. I believe in nurture over nature. There we go. But, were there any harder choices than Lily's? Because there's some that you're absolutely never going to choose. Even simple ones. Like, it's not really a morality question whether you choose for Raul to become a vaquero or stay a mechanic. Everyone's going to choose Raul to become a vaquero. Nobody's going to tell Raul, no, don't become a cool cowboy. Go back to being a mechanic in fucking coveralls. And like Arcade, is it a choice? I can't remember. Do they make you choose whether or not Arcade reforms the Enclave Squad?
I don't recall that one.
Because if so, that's another one. Nobody's going to choose for Arcade not to reassemble the squad of geriatric Enclave dudes. Because even though the Enclave was evil as fuck, that doesn't change the fact that when you reassemble the squad before the Battle of Hoover Dam, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I chose Arcade to not do it because I was with the Brotherhood of Steel at that point, and I think Arcade just told me to fuck off.
I mean, the Mojave Brotherhood are not great people. Yeah, Veronica's another one. Veronica's the only one of the party members who can't have a happy ending, right?
I wouldn't
Maybe.
know.
Because Veronica, the big choice with her is either abandon the Brotherhood because they've lost their way or stick with them. But regardless of what choice you make, if she sticks with them, then her ending is that as the Brotherhood devolve into a bunch of Luddite raiders, she just becomes increasingly disgusted with the people she associates with. But if you choose for her to leave them, she kind of just spends the rest of her life feeling a bit empty that she left them behind.
Yeah.
Arcade doesn't have a good ending, though, does he?
I mean, does Boone?
I don't know. Arcade. Boone can have a relatively happy ending with Boone. The happy ending just is a little bit rough because you have to not only not end it with the Legion, but also you have to specifically make sure to trigger his Bitter Springs PTSD and get it sorted out. But I want to say Boone can end up pretty happy from any of the endings except the Legion. The Legion one, I want to say Raul's the only one who can have a happy ending there. And that's, again, only if you choose for him to be a vaquero, because he's never in one place enough for the Legion to crucify him because he's a ghoul. I mean, I guess Rex or Eddie can have a happy ending under the Legion, but that's different. Oh, God, it just occurred to me, if the Legion conquers the Mojave, what happens to Jacobstown? Presumably something we wouldn't want them. Jesus. What? Okay, if they ever went back west in a Fallout game, and they reveal that the Legion winning New Vegas is the canon ending, how the hell do you take that?
That depends.
Well, that's interesting.
That depends. Who's writing the follow up?
Who's what?
Who's writing the follow up? Is it the same guys that did New Vegas, or is it someone else? Because if it's the same guys, then I go, okay, they maybe they have like a plan and it will factor in somehow.
Well, if there was a hypothetical New Vegas 2, which I love when people say New Vegas 2, that's so stupid. But if there was because if there's going to be another Fallout game in the West Coast, they're not going to stay in fucking Nevada. I love New Vegas, but if they stayed in Nevada, that'd be so damn boring.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't stay in Nevada because if you do a New Vegas 2, that implies that they still need to do stuff with House. They can't do stuff with Mr. House. Well, they've changed voice actors before, haven't they? Because Rene Auberjonois, who voiced Mr. House, passed away a few years ago. But they changed, I think, Harold's voice actor between Fallout 2 and 3, didn't they? When he turned into a tree.
I don't know.
I'm going to look that up. Let me see. Yes, they did. Actually, yeah, he changed voice actors. In Fallout 1 and 2, he was voiced by Charlie Adler, and then in Fallout 3, he was voiced by... I closed the tab because a bunch of ads popped up. So he voiced by somebody different. Whoever voiced him was stupid. Because he brought ads on my computer, and it's his fault.
Yeah. Like, terrible guy. Nobody likes him. The bringer of ads.
Yeah, bringer. Now that would be a title for someone to have, the ad bringer.
Yeah, that's the guy that every company wants to hire.
Yeah. Hero of companies, villain of the common man.
Yeah.
Villain of the media consumer.
Wait, fuck, am I the ad bringer? Most of
Oh
my
no!
most of my my freelance work, which I haven't been paid for, but whatever, fuck it. Most of my freelance work has been in advertisements. In fact, I am currently in the process of being commissioned for another advertisement. Like, genuinely commissioned this time, though.
I mean, if you're a video editor or an actor or anything that's in the entertainment sphere, the best way generally to make money, unless you're doing Disney blockbusters, the best way to make money is ads. Like, that is always the thing that's said about it, is working on ads is easy, very casual environment. You get paid well, but some people really don't like it because they see it as selling out, right?
Yeah. I mean, the most lucrative business proposition for me as someone who is able to like recording stuff and editing it too, would be to go into wedding recordings. The problem with that is that I hate alcohol and I hate drunk people.
Not a big fan of the Aclo halls.
Yeah. And like, what are you gonna find at a wedding? Drunk people. There is not enough money. Like, unless you wanna pay me with like a fucking an hourly rate of $1,000 or more, I don't think there's enough money in your fucking checking account to hire me. Because if like if you want to hire me to like record 3 days worth of stuff for the wedding, which is usually like it's usually 2 or 3 days worth of stuff that you need to record. If you want to record 2 or 3 days worth of stuff, I'll do it at $1,000 an hour. But like, that's still like even accounting for the fact that it wouldn't be like full 24 hours. Let's say I work 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
At that point, I'll do one wedding like once every 5 years, and I'm set. But yeah, no, advertisements are currently, yeah, they're what I'm looking into, because like people need advertisements always. Like people starting out businesses need advertisements that are fine at a good price, and like I'll do shit for $60. I need money.
Well, you shouldn't say shit for $60. That's people will pay you for that, but
Oh no, they need to pay more for that.
yeah.
Hope they got a lot of money though.
Yeah. That's one where payment and exposure bucks definitely ain't gonna count.
Yeah. So anyway, where were we?
Not discussing scat.
New Vegas 2.
And how we get back to not discussing scat, I don't know.
New Vegas 2.
My God.
New Vegas 2 is about selling sketch fetish stuff in New Mojave.
I mean, considering that there is a part of New Vegas 1 that is about snuff tapes. God help us all.
So anyway, yeah, New Vegas 2. They were talking about putting it out further west, I think.
If there was to be another Obsidian game, it should not be in Nevada again. But then the follow-up question there is, just because, hey, screw it, let's keep podcasting. It's already late enough in the day. You get to pick one state in the U.S. for an Obsidian Fallout game. Which state do it be?
Texas.
You had to go for the second biggest state, didn't you?
Absolutely.
You had to go for the one that would be more cowboy than Nevada. You were listening to Johnny Guitar and going like, yes, more of this.
Absolutely. I love me some Old West apocalypse. Or post-apocalypse, technically.
I approve of this. I am enjoyment.
Very much so.
I forgot the name of the state.
I almost said
yeah, go ahead.
I almost said Utah to start a Mormon joke. Then I remembered they actually did. New Vegas was in Utah in the DLCs.
What?
And it focuses heavily on Mormonism. No brain good today. Call again.
Yeah. I need to find the place I'm thinking of. There's a state. There's a state that I thought of. I know where it is on the map, but I don't remember the name. So I'm waiting for Google Maps to load so I can check what the state's name is.
Wait, how did we not go for the obvious answer in Florida?
You know Florida was wiped off the map.
It's very much in the ocean right now, but still, there's no reason we can't still do Florida. You just get a little wet during it.
Look, China didn't even nuke Florida. America nuked Florida when they launched a salvo at China.
Yeah.
Florida in particular would be hellish to try and build a game map around. Because how do you build a game map around a long, soupy landmass?
There we go. Alaska.
Like, if they ever want to hit Fallout 4 and 76 already had a shit ton of swamp. But if we really want that much more swamp, we're probably going to be going for, like, New Orleans, right?
Maybe, just so long as there are mutant alligators, I'll be happy.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw the other day that 76 wound up introducing that some scientist in 76, I don't know if it was a special event with 76 being an MMO and all, that 76 had a special event where you had to fight, like, some nut job made Deathclaw crocodile hybrids.
What?
Nice.
Which is astounding. I kind of gotta respect it.
I'm down with it.
But why though? I just wanted to make crocodiles.
Man, I was just trying to make something badass, and I succeeded.
But at what cost?
My life is great. I'm awesome.
But yeah, my answer for the next state for Fallout should be Alaska.
Oh boy. Yeah, there you go. Pink picked Texas, you picked Alaska. Am I now supposed to pick all of Canada?
Like my answer is either Alaska or Minnesota. I don't know what would be funnier.
Minnesota could have potential. Especially because Minnesota is one of the states that probably is least likely to get nuked.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really
What
much
about the Mall of
strategic value.
America, though? Isn't that up in Minnesota?
It is. I've been there. No, wait, no,
I
I'm
have
not. I've been to the biggest grocery store in America. I've not been to the Mall of America.
There's a biggest grocery store in America?
They have not spoken of it in your circles of the holy place.
No.
It
must be a competitor.
But here's the thing: it's not the biggest in terms of just the size of the building. They sell the biggest groceries. They're all sized up.
I'm pretty sure there was a section of the store where they did sell like supersized stuff. It's the biggest grocery store in the world. What would you expect? It was awesome though. They had one of the craziest international selections I've ever seen in a grocery store.
Yeah, they had to fill the store with something.
Okay, I'll actually unironically agree a Fallout in Montana would be awesome, not only because you'd be handling a part of the world that a part of America that wouldn't have been nuked so bad. If there's any part of America that if you want to set a Fallout there and it has to have vehicles and mounts of some kind, it's Montana. Montana without horses is not Montana.
That's true, but Addy also said Minnesota.
Minnesota's got a few more cities and a few more people, which would make it better suited to being a Fallout game without them. Like, Minnesota's a bit more realistic. Though if they did have Minnesota, then they would need to put in Fargo references, which I would be in favor of.
Eh.
Which, fun fact, Fargo, despite its name, is almost never actually set in Fargo. For my pick, let me see. Does anyone remember where Fallout Tactics was? Was it Michigan?
I think so.
Hmm. I'm very tempted to say Louisiana. I think Louisiana would have solid potential, especially because you know that when the nukes hit, the bayou becomes actually haunted.
I like it.
I mean, here's the thing.
Are they ever
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I guess or settings like they differ in what they can give to the overall lore though, because like Texas could be a continuation of New Vegas more or less, because it's fairly close by, similar cultures and all that.
Yeah.
My answer of Alaska or Minnesota could be completely divorced. Just go into the mountain people or whatever. Louisiana. Who just elaborate on the Lovecraft? 'Cause
Well,
'cause they-
Alaska. The thing.
Yeah.
The thing with Alaska is that in the pre-war, or rather during the war, China invaded Alaska. That's like the entire focus of Anchorage in Fallout 3.
Ah,
Like that. In fact, it's called Anchorage because Anchorage is the state capital of Alaska.
I never
If
played
they
the
wanted,
DLCs.
if you wanted
Yeah.
to Alaska, Alaska would have serious potential, but Alaska would be really digging in on the China stuff.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. I would love for them to dig in on the international stuff, but Fallout really wants to focus on America and the failure of Americans to rebuild in a dying America.
But yeah, I think Louisiana would have great potential to elaborate on the Lovecraft.
Yeah, that would be there would be a lot of that. Fallout's always had the supernatural stuff in the background, but never dug in as well. You know,
I mean, I don't know, because
like,
with each passing game, it seems like they're focusing more and more on doing that stuff, which, like, it never bleeds into the main plot line. But if you do a couple of side missions, then you'll probably find at least one place that's haunted by an old one.
yeah, I mean Fallout. I'm trying to remember. Did New Vegas ever have anything supernatural?
Not that I remember.
I think it had some reference, but I don't think so. I think it's more the Bethesda developed ones that they're going to go hard into the Lovecraft, because 3 set up something that then 4 elaborated on, and then 76 just straight up has like an icon of, or not an icon, it pretty much just has Nyarlathotep, a part of Nyarlathotep at least, as a part of the geometry in a level.
76. It turns out that Mothman is real.
Yeah.
76. Yeah, that I mean Fallout 3, of course, had the famous haunted house segment, but New Vegas. The ghost people and dead money have a scientific explanation behind them, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'm trying to remember. There's something in New Vegas that honestly, was it the tunnelers in Lonesome Road that when they pop up, like the explanation that like everyone just says, we have no idea where the fuck these things came from.
Maybe.
Anyways, yeah, that's all some good stuff. So I believe that's about it, unless anyone else has any other choices they want to throw up.
We did
Nothing?
Fallout Rhode Island.
With the tiniest, like part of the appeal of 76 for them was clearly that they got to finally have a Fallout game where it was the entirety of the state was on the map. Rhode Island, no problem.
Fuck it, Fallout Staten Island. Just Staten Island.
Your mini map is the actual map.
Fallout Waffle House. Huh?
That's how you know shit's fucked.
The Waffle Houses are the places where the super mutants and the Cazadors and the Deathclaws all meet up to beat the fuck out of each other, and everyone else just looks away and passes by.
Yeah.
The super mutants go first. We all know this. What was the name of the big colossal super mutant that sits in that lake in Boston in Fallout 4?
Oh, I know it. It's like Swan or something.
Swan. Swan is probably the only super mutant that could keep up with the Deathclaws and the Cazadors. Well, Fallout 4 is such a rough one because on some levels, I despise Fallout 4 for how much it completely missed everything that went right about Fallout New Vegas. But then there's still some stuff that I look back on fondly. The power armor was cool. I will never not love all of the funny clips out there of people doing perfectly normal things in Boston, and a super mutant suicide bomber just runs up and spikes a bomb on them.
No, my favorite memory from Fallout 4. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the decision for them to have move like football players that makes them perfect.
Yes.
All right, Addy. Before I so rudely interrupted, tell us your favorite memory Fallout 4.
So I modded my game on Xbox so that the power armor looks like Gundams,
Naturally,
and the mod broke. So so you had the head and the shoulder pad of the Gundam. You had the legs of the Gundam, but you still had the normal power armor chest. I had to reinstall the game to fix that. But also just the mental image of a guy in a Gundam suit with a fucking katana just taken away. Like I think I think once I got to Sean, I just killed him. the first time I met him, and then the story was over.
I think there's a lot of people that kill Sean on this pod. Oh God.
But yeah, like my favorite memory is just overall the going through whatever small bit of the narrative that I still remember with Valentine in tow, and it's just a guy in a Gundam suit with a katana, fucking like murdering people by like increasing amounts by the second, and Valentine is in the back going like, "What the fuck's up with the mysterious stranger though?"
Yeah. I only just found out the other day about Valentine's thing with Mysterious Stranger. That's the Mysterious Stranger. Have any of you guys actually taken the Mysterious Stranger perk?
Yes.
Yes.
I never have. I always figured it sounded like shit. Is it any good?
Not really, but it's neat.
It's not good at all, but yes, it's neat.
Yeah, it's not good, but
How
like
often have you seen it?
it's like Wild Wasteland, where like you don't take it to min max your build. You take it because you want to have fun.
I want to say in Fallout 4 specifically, this Mysterious Stranger actually is pretty good. But in New Vegas, Mysterious Stranger or Misfortune pop up quite infrequently and don't really do a whole lot when they're there. But in Fallout 4, Mysterious Stranger pops up a lot more frequently and he one-shots things in some pretty tense situations that I had, so it was always nice to have him around.
Oh, I wanted to ask that. Does he seriously just do one-hit kills?
Yeah.
So it's just a random chance in any given encounter. He will pick that the divine hand of God will come down and pick one of your enemies and just go delete.
No.
Yes.
Well, doesn't he only appear in VATS in 4?
Yes, he only ever appears in VATS.
Yeah. I was about to say he only ever appears in VATS in any of the games. Well, I don't know how Fallout 1 or 2 work because they didn't have VATS, but
But the entire
in
game was
New
VATS.
Vegas and 3, I believe. What?
The entire game was VATS.
Well,
Yeah, kind of.
Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 were both kind of guilty of that. And then New Vegas was kind of guilty of going the opposite way, and VATS just kind of sucking in that game.
But yeah, and then yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, are there any? You guys remember any perks making VATS better in Fallout New Vegas? Because I never really. I always thought it was just better to aim with my own damn gun.
There aren't a lot. There was Grim Reaper Sprint that was absolutely amazing in Fallout 3, and you get it like at level 20 or something crazy like that. So by the time you actually get access to it, it's just not that great. But that was on any kill in VATS, your action points would refill all the way. So you could just enter VATS, kill somebody, enter VATS, kill somebody, enter VATS, kill somebody, and you'd never run out of action points. In New Vegas, they changed it to where it refills like a third of your action point bar. So you're still getting action points refunded in the VAT system, but not enough to really make enough of a difference, in my opinion. So.
And the strange thing, Fallout 3 is the one where VATS is super, super, super strong. New Vegas, nah, it's kind of poopy. But New Vegas is the one that's all about cowboys, so logically, it's the one where you should be able to do the crazy quick shot.
You would think, yep. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't think VATS in New Vegas has the option to target the weapons, does it?
I don't remember. I could swear it must, but I don't know, because I was confused playing New Vegas again yesterday when I got the boxing tape, and it lists does not do health damage. It does whatever damage, KOs instead of kills.
Yes,
And I
the
was confused.
fatigue.
Yeah, it does fatigue instead of damage. And I was just confused. Like, how many situations are there really in this game where you're going to, like, I guess if you want to run a pacifist run or a no kill run, like Metal Gear, but how many situations are there practically in the game where you're going to want to not kill somebody, but still beat them into senselessness?
None.
Yeah,
Maybe one.
are there even situations where the game will acknowledge it?
No.
Because I'm trying to think in my head, like, what's her name? The who's the chick that runs Novak?
Novak is.
Joni?
Is it Joni?
I
I don't
think
remember.
I don't remember. The trouble is that she reminds me a lot of a person in real life I've known whose name was, well, it's spelled Joan, but she pronounced it Joanne.
Ah.
So I have that trouble of like, well, she looks just like a person who I knew in real life named Joan. So I want to say that her name would be Joni. But I don't remember. But that's one situation I could think of bludgeon her, get into her safe, and steal the papers. But if you do that, she's going to wake up and still be hostile, so she won't agree
Yeah.
to follow you
I
for
wouldn't
boom
follow
shooter.
somebody that just punched me out and then request that I follow them out in the dark of the night. That, doesn't seem wise.
Yeah. Um. I mean, there's definitely situations where you can just bully people for being assholes. Walk into the Good Spring Saloon when Joe Cobb's messing with Trudy, just pummel him. Don't kill him, just pummel him. He'll no doubt pull a gun when he gets back up, but in the moment, it'll be damn satisfying. You just pummel him and then leave the building before he can wake up.
I have no idea.
Like, as a matter of fact, the unarmed style, if it just hands out knockouts instead of kills, fails to solve a lot of major quest lines. The Powder Ganger attack on Good Springs, beating it off doesn't make as much sense if you don't kill them, you just bludgeon them all.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Like, yeah, by all means, the courier is kung fuing them all into, unconsciousness. That doesn't change the fact that presumably they'll get up because none of the Good Springs NPCs are smart enough to go and take their guns and tie them up somewhere. I've never thought to try any of this. Like, it must still solve the quest, because unarmed playstyle is totally viable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beyond viable. In fact, it's quite notorious for the variety of extraordinarily strong perks you can get for it. But, like, what the fuck? You're not gonna... okay, I just had a stupid idea. So, you know when you kill the fiend bosses and then go to collect their head and their head's in their inventory?
Yeah.
What happens if you knock them out?
Now, that's a good question.
You ain't got a knife
Would
in your
you-
inventory.
Yeah, hang
Alright,
on. Would you be able to loot their body of their head? And it just you're pulling off the head with your bare hands.
Yeah,
What the heck?
You sub-zero them.
That's what I was about to say. Do you knock out the cook, and then suddenly you hear in the distance, finish him! Fatality. Courier 6 wins.
I like it.
What? If there was ever anything the player could do to terrify their own party members. Hang on, Arcade, give me a second. Rip. Jesus Christ! Actually, kind of think of it, Arcade's a terrible party member to take for those quests, because he'll just vaporize them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Colonel, I've reported back. Unfortunately, my dumbass companion vaporized all their heads, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it that they're dead. Look, out there somewhere, there is a cook-shaped pile of ashes.
I also like to imagine you take I forget which super mutant companion it was. But like you take them on those quests, you rip off the head with your bare hands, and you just go, are you gonna eat that?
The one super mutant companion in New Vegas is Lily, who's a decidedly more kind variety.
Yeah, not Lily.
Not like
I'm thinking of a super mutant squad mate from a different Fallout, but I forget which one.
From Fallout 4.
Yeah, maybe.
The notorious big fan of cannibalism. Because for those who aren't aware, if you take the cannibal perk and use it in Fallout 4, all of the companions disapprove, except Strong, who in fact does approve. His approval rating goes up.
Oh yeah, Strong. Yeah.
Strong wants somebody, and he throws his hands up in the air and goes, "Yeah!" They do it.
I mean, how do you think he became so strong? He took that power.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I want to say that if you talk to Strong, he will encourage you to eat people. He's like, it's great, you should do it. I forget, did Cass, or not Cass, who's the Irish chick in Fallout 4?
Cass.
She was Cass?
No. Pardon me.
That
not
can't be
Cass.
right. New Vegas had a Cass.
Cass is New Vegas. Kate. Cass and Kate.
Yeah, isn't Kate also... Kate's the only one in Fallout 4, I want to say, who approves of you doing drugs, right?
Yes, I think so.
Like, she
McCready
also
might be
throws...
fine with it, but wait, McCready and who's the ghoul? What's his name? I forget. It's
Oh, Hancock!
Hancock. Yeah. I think Hancock
Yeah.
enjoys you getting drunk and wasted and high off of drugs.
Yeah, well, I only played one playthrough Fallout 4, and for me, it was pretty well entirely just Kate or Valentine. But man, if I ever did again, it would absolutely be Hancock, because anytime I see someone else's footage with Hancock is the best. Like, by all means, he should be a scumbag. No, he's a really cool dude. He's kind of built, like, he seems like he's the one they built for an evil karma playthrough, but no, Hancock's a really cool dude.
Absolutely.
Like, the evil party member in that game is 100% strong.
Yep.
Also, shout out to Codsworth just being increasingly concerned by the Courier's choice. I'm not the Courier, the Fallout 4 protagonist choices.
Yep.
And I struggle to remember, was there anyone in Fallout 4 that was more of a good party member than Codsworth?
Kiri? They're kind of the same.
I was about to say, they're about the same, except she wants to fuck you.
True. Wait, why doesn't Codsworth want to? I feel in love now.
He's your
Codsworth-
servant. He can't. It's a power thing.
Well, I think with Codsworth, there's a bit of a thing of professionalism.
True.
Valentine won't because he's in love with justice.
Yeah.
And Strong won't because he's in love with eating people.
Well, Valentine won't because he's in love with justice and finding the mysterious stranger. What he does to the stranger, we don't know.
I forget, was Valentine also the one who was the huge comic book nerd?
I think so.
Because that was supposed to be the explanation for why he became a detective, right?
Well, that
No, he was the detective in a past life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how the synths work. That shows how much I got through Fallout 4. I didn't even know synths were based off of past lives. Don't this dude have gorillas?
Yes. And you
What the
can't shoot
fuck?
them for some reason. I was very disappointed.
I was okay because I remember I saw that for the first time when I saw Eli _handle.b.wav, which I don't know. Do either of you guys recognize that name, or do I have to explain further?
You need to explain further.
He's the guy that does the really, really super quality edits of like Austin Powers in Mass Effect, Walter White in Half-Life.
Ah.
And he also did Patrick Bateman in Fallout 4, American Psycho. And he edited in the scene of Christian Bale running around naked with a chainsaw, but he's in the Institute massacring the scientists of the Institute. And I remember seeing that clip, and there's a gorilla running around in the background. And I recognized that it was not an edited in gorilla, that was an in game gorilla. And I was very confused.
I don't blame you.
See, me not playing through the game, only hearing about the Institute as big, stupid evil, and seeing that they've made gorillas and robots for seemingly no reason, makes me think that somehow Todd Howard and the other guys that made Fallout 4 looked at these stupid robot brain scientists of the Big Empty in Fallout New Vegas and did not understand that they were comedy villains and went, nope, these are the next bad guys.
This is the next best thing right here.
We need to talk seriously about the philosophy of making robo-scorpions. Or the fucking Cazadors. Doesn't the guy in the Big Empty who made the Cazadors more or less admit he just made them for shits?
Which is horrible. He should feel bad.
He should.
Yes, he should.
Really
Oh my god. I mean, the worst thing about the Cazadors is something we don't even get to see in gameplay, right? Because in gameplay, the Cazadors are horrible because they are big flying swarms of enemies with tiny, like small, way too small hitboxes that hit for loads of damage, are extremely high speed, and they give you a poison that is virtually guaranteed to kill you. But the worst thing about the Cazadors is that they are giant tarantula hawks. Now, if anyone here knows what tarantula hawks are and what they do, I ask you, how does a tarantula hawk reproduce? Because if the Cazadors reproduce the same way, then that means that that Nevada is very lucky they have not been overrun by a race of flying fucking xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Because that is 100% where they got the reproduction of the xenomorph in Alien. That is the most horrific death imaginable. Well, it is not a good life for tarantulas in any region where there are tarantula hawks. Good Lord, that is one of the most terrifying animals on the face of the earth. We are lucky that thing is tiny. Like, really, if you do Old World Blues before Lonesome Road, there should be a choice of fuck nuking the bear, fuck nuking the bull. I am rewiring this control panel and I'm nuking the big empty.
I am armed.
We don't know what else the fuck is in there, and it needs to not get out.
I am arming this nuke to nuke only and specifically only all of the Cazadors.
It is a smaller nuke, and I am directing it at that ambiguous place between Red Rocks and Goodspring. I don't want to hit the cons, I want to hit Goodspring. They're both cool people, but the space between them needs to go. And if you happen to wipe out the death claws in the quarry in Sloan first, then the Sloan miners just happen to go with it. They are an acceptable sacrifice. Look, there's only like 5 of them. We'll live.
Well, what about Snuffles?
Snuffle? That's true. Look, I choose in my heart to believe that Snuffle and Chomps Lewis will make it out. And Chomp, I don't even care for Chomps Lewis's personality. I just want him to live because his name is Chomps Lewis. That's a great name. I hope that wherever we move to next, I'll find a new group of people who will call me Chomps. I don't even know what that means. That's a great title to have.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, today's been a good day.
That it has.
That it do and that it be. But do we let it be?
Like the Beatles?
You know, that's probably another thing that they got a big version of in Fallout that's a menace.
Yeah. Not the animal. It's just an amalgam of all the members of the Beatles.
Radiated Paul McCartney out here.
John Lennon is back, and he's here for a vengeance.
This
You know,
John Lennon did a twist villain reveal where he fucking changed the spelling of his name from Lenon to Lenin.
oh no. Okay. You know that in the Fallout universe, someone has went to Japan and seen that on Japan there are probably fucking techno samurai riding giant beetles and went nope and turned their asses back.
I choose to believe that Guilty Gear and Fallout are in the same universe. Japan is just fucking no more. It's just a crater with water flowing into it.
You guys remember that boss in Fallout 4 that if you beat him, he drops the katana that's on fire?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Do you guys remember in Fallout 3 you could meet samurai? I'm not even gonna do pretending a samurai, an actual samurai.
Not off the top of my head.
Mothership Zeta.
Oh, that's why. Yeah,
When you get abducted by the aliens, you find in another tube they've frozen a samurai, and you unfreeze him, and he only speaks Japanese, but nonetheless, you somehow are able to communicate to him, let's go beat some alien ass. And you run around the rest of the Mothership Zeta DLC with a samurai for a party member who cannot communicate with anybody else. He's just a samurai dude running around beating alien ass on Mothership Zeta. Who presumably then gets taken back down to the Capital Wasteland and released into a horribly irradiated futuristic Washington, D.C. Okay, saying the Beatles makes me think. Okay. We should probably wrap this podcast up at some point, but by now we're fully in rambling territory. All right. Fallout New Vegas 2 in Montana, for some reason. Against all logic. Fallout New Vegas 2, now in Montana.
The logical next
We
step.
get a mount. We get a mount system. What animal in the Fallout universe would be the coolest mount?
I mean,
You know what?
there's an obvious
Go ahead.
answer, but I feel like one of the New Vegas mods made it be tainted.
And what is that?
That claw. Imagine if people could tame not even tame. Imagine if people forced saddles onto Death Claws and rode them that way.
Well, I was just the other day looking over the list of party members in the Fallout games. I forgot that Fallout 2 not only had intelligent, kind-hearted pacifist Death Claws, but one of them was a party member.
Oh.
What?
And while the other
Fallout 2.
And while the other intelligent Death Claws get wiped out by the Enclave, the one that's your party member sticks around. He's still alive, and he's out there somewhere.
What a legend.
He's like, and if memory serves, he has the highest good karma rating out of all the Fallout 2 party members.
Oh, wow.
I always love when they pull open the files for Fallout games and look at the stats for the characters, and you get delightful things like Kaisar has 4 intelligence, which makes him dumber than Snuffles. You can bring Snuffles into the fort with you, and Kaisar's going off about Hegelian dialectics, and Snuffles is just there scratching its head like, I don't think Hegel talked about dialectics that way. Or you'll get weird situations like, there are only, I think, 5 NPCs in Fallout New Vegas who have very evil karma, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's Mortimer and Philippe over at the White Gloves, the super cannibals, Vulpes and Colta, Cook, and then some random, more or less nobody Legion NPC. I don't think they even group in the snuff film dude from the Omertas.
Mm.
And like, it's bizarre because it's like, well, yeah, by all means, Vulpes and Colta is definitely very evil. But I don't know that I'd put him on the same level as Cook or Mortimer, you know?
Yeah.
Vulpes still has a point to what he does. He's very cruel, but he's cruel for a reason. I don't know if that necessarily compares to I eat people because it's fun or huge turbo rapist.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's anyone in the Fallout universe worse than Cook. Like it makes a point when you talk to that mercenary bounty hunter dude that never stops beating up that poor dummy all day long. When you talk to him, he specifically makes a point of saying, "Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near Cook. You have fun with that, pal."
Yeah.
I guess you could say Kaisar's worse than Cook because he's causing on a broader societal level what Cook does anyways.
That is
But
true.
we're never given the visceral description of anything that Kaisar or the Legion did, like we are for what Cook did, though. I guess that's part of where the difference comes in for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because we know what Kaisar and the Legion are up to, but the description you get of Cook, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, beyond Death Claws, though, to get back to that point about mounts, how would you ride a Mirelurk? It doesn't seem like it would work.
Yeah, they're a bit too round for that, I would think.
Well, I mean, in Warhammer, there's actually a unit of zombies riding hermit crabs,
Awesome.
and they just kind of hang on for dear life. But like the Mirelurk, I feel like part of the issue with the Mirelurk is that the Mirelurk has like 8 legs, but otherwise it's kind of an upright creature. It's like built like a bipedal creature, you know?
Yeah.
There's also the question of what's actually reasonable, right?
All right,
Because we know that the
Mothman puts you into a kangaroo.
You still have a gun you can shoot from the kangaroo pouch, though.
Yeah. I mean, do you
Alternate. Tame and ride the legendary bloatfly.
Okay. You ride Cazadors, but there's one Cazador on the reach of your foot. You fly.
You're doing like Aquaman in the Super Friends.
Yeah.
I mean that in particular, the legionaries at the fort look into the horizon and they put their hand over their eyes to get the sun of their eyes, and they're going, "Good by Kaiser. What is that?"
I speak for the bugs.
And
Y'all are fucked.
the Legion is done. They're dead.
Yeah. Literally just caught in the movie Alien.
Oh God. You know, that would be still a fitting way for the Legion to go. Okay. It would not even be, if the modding possibility was there, I would love to see a mod for New Vegas of the courier Yoda on Lily's back, right?
Yeah.
Come along, kiddies. Well, there was somebody in one of the Fallout games that was able to tame Meowguys, I think. So you can ride bears. That's one possibility.
I mean, I feel like the most realistic and the funniest one in the sense is the most mundane would just be Brahmin. You ride cow.
Yeah, them or the ram horn, big horns. There we go, big horns. Brahmin would be funnier though because it's the 2 heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you ride the Morets?
Yeah, see, that's one of the ones we know is tameable, but maybe if you have a child party member.
Yeah. No. If you have a child party member, you can tell them to form a new unit with Rex. or dog meat, depending on the game.
You know what? There's already been a child party member in Fallout, but it was Myron, the rapey drug cook from Fallout 2. So I don't think, perhaps not the best example for child party member.
Probably not.
I know we're missing a big one. There's got to be a big funny one.
Okay, not a,
Well-
not a creature technically, I suppose, but I just imagine the courier skateboarding on Mr. House's like pod to the Mojave.
Victor, you can't even properly ride him. You're just standing on top of him.
Yeah. No, Victor's cradling you like a baby, and you shoot that from the cradle.
Yeah. Okay, from an anime, it would suck to try and ride one of these because they just move so much while running. But the super geckos, the Gojiras,
Oh
Yeah.
would be awesome and hilarious, but it would also make you super sick because when you see those things run, they just go from side to side so much. Okay, you know what I am shocked is not already happened in Fallout 3 or 4?
What's that?
The ant. How did we
Oh,
never get
yeah.
that ant supervillain dude riding on an ant?
yeah.
That's a good point.
The fire ants would
They're
would be
big
funny.
enough. They've got the proper proportions for it.
Okay, Fallout game in Montana. Horses have now mutated to be much smaller. Donkeys have now mutated to be much bigger.
I mean,
You're saying there are
Shoot.
big asses in Montana?
yes.
Oh my god!
I had this idea occurred to me because W talked about how there were synth monkeys in 4. Okay, monkey mech suit as a mount. You just go inside. You go inside like the power armor, but it's also like a party member if you're outside of it.
See, that's what the Institute made power armor, and they just decided this is the way we do it.
Yeah.
Finally, the power of gorilla and the intelligence of man meet. The ultimate life form.
I like to imagine that interface, like when you interface with the Institute power armor, that is just a monkey mech. Your intelligence goes down, but your strength goes up.
The most fucked up nonsensical one, Centaur, does not work on several levels.
Yeah.
They don't even move particularly quickly, if memory serves.
No, they kind of waddle about very slowly. They lumber about.
I forget, is there anywhere you can encounter centaurs in New Vegas other than Black Mountain?
Ah.
There's really only 3 super mutant spots on the whole map, and one of the 3 is friendly.
Yeah. I want to say you get centaurs in the Black Mountain area, and then it also out toward the what is it called? The Legion camps and whatnot. I think out there you can encounter a few centaurs, but I actually don't recall.
It doesn't sound right, because part of the Legion's whole thing is they're going out and wiping out the super mutants. And the super mutants have centaurs as their pets.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure, I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure along that massive river where you transport to the Legion base, or I might be thinking of a different river, or further up north that river, I believe there's a spot in those mountains that you can climb up, and there are going to be a buttload of death claws as well as a centaur.
Oh no, is that the legendary Deathclaw cave?
Could be.
The one that led to a screenshot followed by Sid the Sloth from Ice Age going, nope, I choose life.
I haven't seen that meme, but probably.
I appreciate when a game gives you a warning like that. When you step into a zone and it just says the zone of ass fucking, and it's like, okay, turn it around. It's the cave of 8-legged Laniuses. Nope. It's funny. I always see people list Lanius as the strongest thing in that game, but didn't we drop him in Quarry Junction that time we recorded New Vegas and watched him get minced by the Deathclaw Mama?
Three
Yeah.
of him, yes.
Yeah.
3 Laniuses.
He, to his credit, he didn't die. He just got knocked out unconscious repeatedly.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
but
he can die.
that Mama Deathclaw whooped his ass multiple times over. It was not a good showing for Lanius.
Is Lanius the only essential NPC? Because I can't think of anyone else in Fallout New Vegas who Skyrims it when they get killed.
I can't recall anyone either. I think he might be the only one. There has to be at least one other, I'd imagine, but... Hmm. No?
If you can waltz into the fort and kill Kaisar right on the spot, if you can waltz into the Lucky 38 and kill Mr. House right on the spot, if those two aren't essential, then who the fuck would be?
Right.
Well, I think
I
Lanius
was
is the
thinking
only
there
one.
must be someone in the NCR that you just can't kill, because that would block off a lot of the quest lines if you did, but at the same time, if you block off all those quest lines, well, I guess you go choose a different faction, so there can't be anybody that's essential.
Yeah, then you go with
So
Yes Man.
Lanius
Yes,
is probably the only one.
Yes Man is the one. Yeah, that's true. Yes Man is the only one you can't kill. Yes Man is the only other one. He's not essential though. He's just invincible. But yeah, Yes Man. I mean, Yes Man's entire point of existence, the reason they put Yes Man in the game to begin with, was he is the answer if you've screwed the pooch on the 3 other factions. Which it never occurred to me. If Kaisar dies, can't you still take missions for the Legion though?
Not if you kill him, but I think if he dies, like if you botch the operation, you can still do their missions. But I don't remember.
Because there's a way you can have the Legion win with Kaisar dead, and it ends up with Lanius as Emperor. But how does that happen if Kaisar is dead? Because Kaisar is the one who gives the Hoover Dam mission, right?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't encounter Vulpes out. Do you encounter Vulpes outside of Nipton and Vegas? Shit, none of us went on Legion playthroughs because all of us
No.
would feel too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There must be someone in the Legion that still gives out missions when Kaisar's dead, because you can kill Kaisar and still have the Legion win. Which defies all logic, but you can go for it. Like at that point, that is also a chaotic evil choice of I just want to throw the Mojave into chaos. But then again, like it also occurred to me as we were discussing the Arcade Enclave stuff, I forgot you could have Arcade reform the old Enclave squad, then have him fight for the NCR, then pick the Legion or House anyways. So you end up fighting Arcade and his squad. Which, again, defies all logic.
It's
Well,
like
in fairness, we did get shot in the head. So
it's like Goku giving Cell the Senzu Bean.
I want a harder fight.
This isn't about who we're them. This isn't about Mojave. I just want to make all of you look bad.
Like, you go through, you tell the Enclave, like, how much of that can you do? It never occurred to me to even try that. Can you go and tell the Enclave squad, join the NCR? Go and tell the Boomers, the Brotherhood of Steel, to join the NCR. Go to Helios 1, route all the power to NCR. Get the Great Khans to go with the NCR. And then go and join Kaiser. I have never wanted to check this. Will Kaiser say something like, you have went around the Mojave turning everyone in favor of the NCR. Why are you here?
That's the playthrough where you name your characters, where you name the career Son Goku, and then you play with nothing but unarmed.
Like, it never quite, like, really, with how the game works, in the system of once you go to the Lucky 38, any of the factions are willing to forgive everything you've done to them. Just how bad can you make it for the faction you actually intend on playing? That is an interesting idea, actually. That is an idea for a challenge playthrough. What happens if you put the Boomers on the opposite side? Do you have to play the Hoover Dam getting shot at by artillery?
I love it.
Just going your way down the dam going, why did I do this to myself? Getting bombed by a fucking plane? Wait. What? Okay, it never occurred to me to ask this either. What happens if you plug the platinum chip in at the fort, but then nonetheless, can you still choose the NCR or Kaiser afterwards?
I'm pretty sure you can.
Which again defies all logic.
Yeah.
Like, what we're talking about here is the Canon 1 intelligence build playthrough, which still fits Goku. Goku puts everything in strength, intelligence, and luck, and 1 in everything else.
Yeah. Like the only way it could that playthrough could be more Goku is if it suddenly turned out that you also have a son that you ignore.
Like, you're to complete it, you're going to make sure also to rush as soon as you can to the Freeside Clinic and the Big MT to get all the crazy super power ups as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And figure out just how possible it is to fight with unarmed and also just regular clothes or something.
Not even regular, just waited.
I don't remember there being a weighted clothing, but sure.
Goku wore weighted clothing for a bit, but I think he stopped because it was Piccolo's thing. His and Gohan's.
I know Dragon Ball has the weighted clothing, but I don't remember there being weighted clothing in Fallout.
Oh no, I don't think there is. I guess weighted clothing would just be whatever takes up a lot of carry weight.
Well, that would be power armor, which would kind of defeat the point of Gokuing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there is a heavy set of clothing in that game. The heavier the weight, it's probably just going to be the heavier the armor.
Yeah. Nonetheless, I'd say this is probably as good a place as any to wrap this up, whatever. I say that not only because I need to take a piss, but also because my throat is getting raw.
Ha!
All right. Bye.
What do you think, Adam? You think bye?